aha, we've come out to somewhere in Hong Kong, just simply for some fresh air, nice landscape, and a nice eggy smell in the air. To look at these two cameras, two recent updates to already established lines in the DSLR lineups of Canon and Nikon, the 600D and the D5100 or 5100, whatever you want to call it. Of course, you might be interested in megapixels, and well, the Canon 600D has got 18 megapixels. The Nikon D5100 has got 16. Does it really make a difference? Let's take some pictures to find out. Oh, there's lots of little tiny animals, thingies.
The megapixel is something that a lot of people look for when buying a camera, but does it really matter these days?
Now let's use the tilty swivelly thingy. The great thing about the D5100 is that it now has similar tilty swivelly screen to the 600D. To be honest, the 2 megapixels don't really make a difference, and I think the tide is coming in, am I not mistaken? That does not look good. I can see the news now. 2 guys and a girl die. Horrible accident. Now this boat has actually been here since eternity. That's according to Locke anyway. Oh, look at this dramatic shot. And to be honest, 2 megapixels don't really make that big a difference, unless you're going to blow it up large. But you're probably best to put your safety goggles on first. Oh, there's a dead crab here. The most important thing when you buy a starter camera like one of these 2 cameras is that they take pictures. 18 or 16 megapixels is more than enough.
If you really want to find something to separate the two, then the Nikon is the noise master of the two. I mean, it handles better than the Canon at higher ISOs. Big difference? Nah.
Brokeback Mountain. Hong Kong version. Do you want to handle my rake? Yeah, it's good stuff. Both of these cameras have got 4 frames per second continuous burst rate, which is enough for most people. Unless you need more than 4 frames per second. The Nikon D5100 has got 11 autofocus points compared to the 9 of the Canon 600D.
Then I tested a mode out that I don't use myself.
Because this camera is ideal for beginners, let's test out in its Auto Plus mode, an octopus, to see how well the metering performs, as well as other stuff. Go away, poppy uppy flash. Annoying. Well, the Nikon has got auto mode if you don't know what you're doing as well.
Even though the Nikon was also on auto flash, it decided that there was no need for a bit of flash action.
Yep, no poppy uppy flash.
That was nice to see that both don't overexpose so that the detail in the skies are still there.
Oh yeah. Old lady shot, yes. Bang. To find out how easy these cameras are to use, we're going to give it to our project coordinator. She loves taking photos, but she doesn't know too much about these cameras. So Lambie, she likes to take photos, but she's not really that much into the technical aspect of the cameras. She's got a D90. So let's see.
You're telling everyone my personal life.
Sorry, she also lived in Melbourne, and you can find her address.
Australians.
If you look in the more info box, you'll find her address and a phone number.
Let's go and take.
These 2 cameras are obviously for those who are interested in photography but aren't always interested in the techie bits. So here's an opinion from someone who couldn't give an f-stop about noise performance.
There's no screen there, so I don't know what.
It's all on this screen.
Oh, okay.
She's from Australia, so everything over there is upside down.
Yep, that's
No.
how I do it.
Okay.
How do I get to this?
To hold that button and then use the dial.
Okay.
So your D90's got 2 dials, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's why I'm used to the 2.
So a beginner camera has got less functionality.
I have to explain it, otherwise I wouldn't know which button to press.
I'm not really keen on DSLRs that only have 1 dial. I'm glad it's not just down to my narrow-mindedness.
So what about the Nikon? See, you're a Nikon girl. The buttons aren't in the same place as the usual
This is
Nikons.
really small, actually. I actually like the Canon grip more than the Nikon.
Well, that's weird because I like this grip better.
Really?
So where do you think, or how do you think you would adjust the aperture value?
What? Wait. I mean...
Well, with the Canon you had to hold a button.
Just pressing anything. Oh!
Press this one. Oh look, you see, there's a little symbol.
Oh,
of the
okay,
aperture.
that little symbol means aperture.
So which camera do you think is the better choice for you?
Well, for me personally, I think it's hard to choose actually, because I mean this one has a better graphics. Because
And
it
that's
has
useful for like...
for illustrations, you know.
Yeah.
For beginners, if you don't know how it works, and you know, it's got a little diagram there. But for this one, I like the grip better. It's kind of like
Yes.
the Nikon. So I think really you have to go out and try it yourself and just hold it and you know take a few shots and see how you feel. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
It's a very considerate opinion. I would say
Yeah.
just buy the Nikon.
That got me thinking. Because they're not only cameras for photography addicts like myself, who gets aroused at the talk of large apertures. It's also for those who don't care about, apertures. Those who just want to take photos for fun.
See, when you're starting out in photography, you don't want to be bored by all this talk of apertures, shutter speed, ISO. You want some effects, don't you? Nikon D5100. It's got some cool filters. Well, that's what they say anyway. Well, another neat feature on the Nikon is the fact that it has an HDR mode.
I have to say that even though I'm not a fan of HDR, you can do it in a very tasteful way with the Nikon. I'm not really a big fan of the filters you get with the Nikon, with not many useful options. The Canon doesn't offer so many filters: grainy black and white, fisheye, toy camera and miniature effect. Though the most interesting thing about the 600D is not a filter, it's the fact that you can crop your images in camera.
But of course, one of the biggest features on DSLRs these days is the movie feature, which both of them have, 1080p. And they've both got tilty swivelly screens, which is especially good for video.
All credit to Nikon for trying to package a semi-decent video mode into their camera, though the Canon is just better. Features-wise, the 600D has cool, useful stuff like the crop mode that offers 3 to 10 times extra zoom, and the downright must-haves like the ability to fully adjust the audio recording levels. That really is one of Canon's key appeals right now, and it could be a real deal decider for those considering these two cameras. But it can also swing the other way, what with Nikon's forte of low noise performance and full-time autofocus in video mode. Then there are little differences, like the AF points and different types of filters that differentiate the two. Though the fact is, they are both jolly good DSLR choices.